Well, welcome back everybody to Motorsport Manager and the single-seater playthrough. And we've only got 2 races to go now, an incredibly slender advantage over Thornton Motorsport, and Esprit and Ruiz, you've got to say, are still in the hunt for that second place as well. So there's a lot of work to do if we want to hit our objective and avoid the risk of being fired or getting another ultimatum. So it's going to be a pretty crucial last couple of races, this. We didn't do too well last time out. Monroe managed to get 7th, but no points for 7th, unfortunately, with these current points rules. So it's going to be very difficult to score points. And it could just be one result in the next 2 races that decide who finishes second. So, yeah, there's going to be a lot of luck involved in this and a lot of pressure, I'm sure. But we'll see what we can do. Obviously, we have stopped developing the car now. We'll continue to improve what we can. But our car has fallen quite a way behind, unfortunately. Which is surprising, really, because we've really put a lot of money into the car this year. And we've made a lot of great strides. You look at all these parts we've built this year, especially in the brakes department. We've definitely, we've got ourselves off the bottom. We by far had the worst brakes on the grid. We're starting to get those minimums up now, but we're still quite a long way off the average on the grid in terms of most parts. Now we got a sponsor, a couple of sponsor offers. Slot 1. This is going to be a fairly important one. It's incredible how little we get in this championship. It really is. It's 200,000 for 10 races or 2.75 for 8 races. That's going to be the best offer we can get from Bepalitas. So that's some money towards next year's car. Slot number 2, we're going to wait till we get a couple more offers before we decide on that slot. But yeah, it's all about next year, really. It's just promising that we can get that second place. Just try and get that second place any way we can, and then next year we're really going to have to try as hard as we can to win the title, because I feel if we don't next year, I think that'll be the end of the road for us. So yeah, let's see how we go. Let's get these last 2 races over with and try and secure second place, and we can go from there. So they want to use sequential pit stops next year. Pit stop events will happen sequentially, leading to slower pit stop times. The smaller crew size also helps keep the cost down. It will benefit us because we're a low budget team. But I feel this would be a waste of vote because I feel this is going to be against. I'm going to save my vote, and hopefully it wouldn't have been enough to swing it. Yeah, 5-3, so it wouldn't have been enough. It's been rejected anyway. It's not going to be a huge difference in the budget from that, so I'm not too bothered. We've got a long old break before the next race. So let's see how the parts are getting on and try and get the reliability as high as we can across the board. So let's go to the rear wing on that one. We'll keep improving the gearbox. And then we maybe improve a bit of the engine reliability, which we haven't done all season really, with it being a stock part. Right, slot 3 is now available. They're all target positions. I really hate target positions because you can only ever select one, so you really want someone that's going to give you something up front. So I feel Northern Harbour, just to get that million in the bank, because I don't think we're going to win races the last couple of... We might win a few races next season, that's the thing. And that 1.2 bonus is useful. But I think we'll just take the biggest amount up front and write that sponsor off, really. To get the money in the bank. Thankfully, it's quite a short term, so it shouldn't be too much of an issue. Monroe has been caught speeding. I mean, can barely be surprised, to be fair. He's still a young kid, so he's out there racing around the streets of wherever he's from, Australia. Right, concentrate on races. I always go for races on this one because they're always the most important thing, especially with Ecker, who is so strong in the races. I presume she's going to be... I think she's already healed up. I can't remember if it was last time that we used Carol and I can't remember. I don't know why we were going for Moreno. Let's just retract that offer. Didn't even realise that was still rolling. Right, let's just check in on how the car's doing. So it's quite nice to have this long break before the following 2 races. It means we can make the car hopefully almost bulletproof. I'm going to take off the gearbox and the front wing and concentrate on the engine. Performance, there's still quite a lot of performance to get from those brakes. The rear wings equally, so we'll keep those as they are. And yeah, we'll see what this does. I feel if we have a good race, we can get some decent points. As I say, it could just be one result needed from one car. Sort of a podium, I feel, would secure us that second place. But based on our form the last few races, that's going to be pretty tough, I feel. But with Ecker back in the car, was it? Am I going mad? Was it last time? No, it was last time we used Caroline Ann. So, yeah, Ecker's return, and hopefully she can show the form that she's been showing this season and get us back in the hunt for second place, or secure second place, should I say. Right, rear wing, we'll keep on the engine. I think I might just improve the lowest ones, which is the brakes and the gearbox, and then we'll be ready to go. Now we got a pretty strong engine and gearbox, so we should do pretty well at Phoenix. Hopefully, I presume it's the in-road circuit. In which case, it'd be pretty crucial. Nice, it's the oval. So yeah, we should do well here. Hopefully, it's going to be difficult to look after our tyres as per usual. We're going to go with a Moose as per usual, third or above, because the podium is what we're aiming for anyway. So I think we switched the cars around last time. So because it was Ecker, Caroline Ann against Monroe. So let's go back to giving Ecker the better car. As she does have the best chance. And to be fair, Monroe is still classed as a reserve, so he doesn't mind one little bit. I still don't know about Monroe for next year, but we'll see. But as per usual then, I shall get practice underway and be back with you guys for qualifying. Right, into qualifying we go then. We're going out very late to do just one run because we managed to get plenty of practice in and managed to get some good practice in on the soft tyres and qualifying trim as well. But as we've only got 3 sets and I've already used 1, I want to save 1 set for the race. I seem to remember in the past we've done very well here, 1 stopping on 2 sets of hard, so that's most likely what we'll go for. And in retrospect, I should have really done the race trim on the hard tyres rather than the mediums, which will hurt us a little bit in the race, but hopefully we should be able to get a good qualifying session here. We'll be the last ones to cross the line by the looks of things. We got some good boosts as well, so let's see how they go. Once again, 1.1 seconds between the entire grid. So close. Ecker goes P2 then, a 10th off Surikov, and Monroe goes 13th. 4 tenths between them, but that's the difference it makes with the grid this close. But that's a cracking lap from Ecker. We'll take a front row start every day of the week, and it's good to have her back in the car because that's the kind of edge she gives us over someone like Monroe. So hopefully she can have a great race from there. Now, as I said, I think we've done 1 stops here on the hard sport, but I think because of the fuel, that's going to be very difficult to do. So let's go for medium and race trim. And the same with Monroe. If we take a look at the strategy then, yeah, I mean, we're just not going to have enough fuel to do a 1-stop race. So I think we'll start Ecker on the soft tyres to be aggressive, use her one new set and try and get her off to the best start possible. And that's going to take her about 12 to 14 laps into the race. So let's go to 15 so that we can push a little bit. And then Monroe will stick on the medium tyres for as long as possible. So the hard tyres here I don't think are going to be much use because of the fuel level. They might be able to go a few laps more, to be fair. But I think because of the speed, we need Monroe to make a good start as well. So we'll start him on the mediums as well. So, two slightly differing strategies. It's going to be at least a 2-stop race here. Maybe even 3-stop for Ecker. But as long as she gets a good start on those soft tyres and gets away quickly from the rest of the pack, then she should have the pace, hopefully, to do a 3-stop. Even if she hasn't got enough soft tyres. So we're underway then. It's not the best start from Ecker. She's lost one position off the grid. And she's coming under pressure now from Kanjiro. But we should have good pace here in terms of straight line speed. So we should be able to make some good progress. Monroe is already up into the top 10 then, up to P9. And we're going to have to start looking after these tyres pretty quickly. We're going to go to high and neutral with both, use up a little bit of extra fuel and see if we can make some good progress. Monroe already up 7th then and knocking on the door of the points. So great start from both drivers. Ecker starting to fall away a little bit from Shah. But I'm not too worried about that at the moment. Right, let's kick it on up to 2 speed. Temperature's a little bit lower than we normally expect here in Phoenix. So this might be quite good for tyre life. But there's a definite gap developing between Ecker and the front 2. And I'm a little bit worried about how close John Statir and Stramby are getting to us. Monroe's dropped back to 10th then. Not showing the best pace. What's everyone else doing? So everyone else is still using very high fuel modes. I don't really want to do that. But it's going to lose us positions. If Ecker can hold on here, weather the storm, then she should be able to go deeper into this stint than these guys, which should help her out later on with better tyre life. So John Statir has got past now. It's incredible these guys are all still using overtake mode. I guess it really does help on this track. Our engine and gearbox is pretty good. So I don't want to fall a long way behind here. So I'm wondering if we maybe try it with both cars for a few laps and see if it keeps them up with these guys. And see if we've got the pace to go back past. I'm just really worried about how it's going to wear the engine and gearbox. But nobody else seems to be worried about that at this point. In the top 10. So we'll go with it. But we have already lost those positions. So the damage has already been done. We just need to keep an eye on the engine and gearbox really. A bit in overtake mode. I'm also worried about how far we go into this race. I'm going to kick it back down. Let's play our normal patient game. Let's rely. There we go. A couple of people in the pits already then. We've got plenty of fuel left, but the tyres aren't going to go many laps more. So I think we've slightly overfueled Ecker here. I'm going to try and keep everything in good order. I'm not going to go ham and suddenly be really aggressive with the overtake mode. I think those guys pitting so early may well be forced into a 3-stop. If we can do a 2-stop with Ecker here, then that might be to our benefit. Monroe still going along nicely on those medium tyres then. In the grand scheme of things, there's only about 4 seconds behind Ecker as well. Surikov has just disappeared, 14 seconds ahead. We're going to have to bring in Ecker this time round though. Yeah, I think 2 stints on the mediums, if we look after them, should be okay. So we'll fully refuel the car. And just make sure we don't overwear them. They seem like the perfect tyre to date in terms of temperature. We don't have to push or conserve to look after the tyres, although the temperatures do look like they might be creeping up a little bit. We need a good stop here. I'm sure we're going to lose even more positions from the undercut. But let's play the long game, and I think we might just get away with one less stop here today. But to be fair, Monroe's tyres have not held up well. Only 12 laps in and we're pretty close to needing to pit with him already. And of course we've got such a short track here, it makes things really complicated when you're pitting. Because I mean, Monroe is not far away from Ecker and hasn't pitted yet. Right, we're going to have to bring him in this lap. I think we might have to try the hard tyres, you know, because they just don't seem to be holding up. And this might be good research for Ecker as well, if these medium tyres don't last long enough. Let's go back to neutral. We're conserving at the moment. Don't see much need in doing that. And once again, we're refueling. Probably overfueling these guys, but Monroe, if he's going to the hard tyres, will need it. That was a mistake on the rear left. That's going to be a bit costly. 2.2 seconds lost, but he will come back out just behind Ecker then. So, not always lost. He's still about 4 or 5 seconds behind. And we'll see how he gets on and what his pace is like on these hard tyres. It's very difficult to read until everyone's stopped where Ecker is going to come out in the grand scheme of things. We're up to 12th and 13th now. Still 4 cars to pit, so we're slightly outside the points. But those guys stopped a lot earlier, so if we can do one less stop, then we've still got a great chance of points with both cars here. Monroe coming under a lot of pressure and unable to hold on. So everyone else has pitted now, so that's where we are in the grand scheme of things. We're 8th, about 3 seconds behind the points paying positions. John Statier seems to be getting away, but I think Shaw, Stranby, Seelwitz and Larson are definitely still in range. And they have gone on to the hard tyres, which I think we might have to do on Ecker's final stop, because they're just not holding up well. Tyres are just not doing the distance at all for some reason. I know this track is very bad for tyre wear anyway, but at the halfway point we've not gone anywhere near far enough, I think, to do another medium stop, but we'll see. We'll keep looking after him and see how we can go. She's got onto the back of these guys now. She has got the quicker car with the 2 guys ahead on the hard tyres, and she makes a move now on Larson. I'm wondering if we just need to take advantage of this. So let's use overtake and see how far she can get up the field. Some guys stopping again now, so that confirms to me that they're doing 3 stops. So we need to try and string this out to do a 2 stop if we're to get anything out of this, because we're well out of sync if we want to do a proper 3 stop. It's not the optimal strategy at the moment. Getting a bit worried about her engine. Yeah, we can't use overtake for long. She's made good progress though. Monroe's equally holding on there on the hard tyres, and he's got a long way to go yet, so there is a chance we can put him onto the medium tyres, I think. I think Ecker we will have to put on the hard tyres, but she'll have a pit stop advantage over these guys. I mean, look how far John Statier, Stranby and that crews are behind us, and if we only have to stop once more and they only have to stop once more, we're right in the hunt for some points here. But medium tyres not looking great. But if we can eke a couple more laps out of these mediums, we might be alright. Those hard tyres have done 10 laps so far, and they're still looking okay, so I think 18 laps is definitely possible on them. And Monroe's pace has been pretty good while he's been on them, to be fair. He's lapping in the 49s at the moment, so he's about a second slower than Ecker, but that's not too much of a worry considering the advantage we've got over those that stopped late. Now I'm going to try and do one more lap. This might be pushing it a bit far, but I feel we just need to get whatever we can to help us in this final stint. I think the fact they've only done 15 laps, I don't want to risk them for the final stint. This has got to be belt and braces. And we're going to have to look after them. We probably have to turn the engine down as well, because it's not looking great at the moment. We can probably push on these hard tyres for Munro, because we know he can get to the end on another set of hards now. I think the extra laps he's going to do on these will enable him to comfortably do the final stint on the mediums. So let's use a bit of his tyre life now and see if he can pick up the pace a bit. Right, come on guys, we don't want to stop, don't want a mistake. Where's Ecker going to come back out? It's going to be P13, just behind Shah and just ahead of Stramby. So even if those guys didn't have to stop again, she would still be in this fight. But I think they do. So I think Ecker's in a good place here. We're going to turn the fuel down just to make sure we save that engine. And then if we need to use the fuel and the engine at the end of the stint, we can do. But for the moment, she just needs to get up to speed and hold on. 14 laps to go. What did Ecker do on the soft tyres? She managed to do 12 laps on those soft tyres. And Munro does still have a set of softs, so that might be an option for him to go onto the soft tyres at the end of the race. I still think he's not looking great. Oh, shit. I don't know if we've caught that. I think we've just run out of fuel with Munro. Oh, I was looking at the wrong car. He has just run out of fuel. Yeah, I've done that a few times recently, and some of you guys pointed it out. I didn't even notice at the time. We've noticed just in time there with Munro, but that's cost him a lot of time. You can see Ecker cruising on past there. And this is going to be tricky for Munro to get to the end of the race now. To get back into this race, sorry, should I say. He was always a little bit outside the hump for points, but I feel he's lost a good 5 or 6 seconds there, if not more. And that's put him completely out of the picture. Ecker, on the other hand, is now up into the points. And I feel there's some guys ahead that have still got to pit again. So let's just look after the car, look after the fuel, and we can pick up some very decent points of Ecker here. Meanwhile, points for Esprit and Thornton aren't too bad. They are higher than us at the moment, but I feel they've got to stop again, and we should get that position back later in the race. So we have way too much fuel on Munro. I had no idea why I put 18 laps of fuel in his car. And his engine's gone. That was idiotic. I just panicked because I thought that, for some reason, I thought Munro was the number 10, the car in 10th. When that was actually Ecker. So, yeah, bit of a mistake there. And we've definitely counted him out of the points, I think. Right, Ecker is up to 5th now. She's got Tyler just behind her. But Tyler is on incredibly worn soft tyres. Surely everybody ahead of us has still got a pit. Our tyres are going to be fine to the end, so I'm going to start pushing. And Ecker has actually regained the overall lead of the race. Surakov's just come out and has had to put on worn soft tyres. I think quite a few of the AI have run out of tyres, which is interesting. You know what, Munro, if he's going to get anything out of this, he's going to have to use that fuel up and risk the engine going. We've got excess fuel for Ecker as well, so we may as well start using it. Similar with her, I don't think the engine's going to blow. Surakov may come back to us late on, you never know. We're low on fuel on engine with Munro, we know. We're just going to try and push as hard as we can to get into those points paying positions, because at the end of the day, if he blows his engine in 7th or 8th, it's nothing lost really. We need to see if he can get up into the points, but the guys ahead have got much fresher tyres. These 3 guys, Cruz, Larson and Shah, which are the danger to Ecker as well, because Kanjiro is completely out of tyres. I'm going to go back to neutral. I might go back to conserve actually on these hard tyres, just to make sure. Actually, we've got 2 laps left. We'll be fine. Let's push. It's got way too much fuel. Engine still looks okay, so let's go to overtake mode. Similar with Munro, we may as well go for it, because he's right on the back of Seelwitz for some points. So we may as well give it everything for these final couple of laps. Ecker is now right on the back of Surikov, who's run out of tyres. Ecker takes the lead on the final corner to win the race. Unbelievable stuff. This track has been the scene for some incredible results for our team. I seem to remember Ecker running out of fuel over the line last year. And we've just about reversed it and timed it to perfection and stolen the win. Finally, a victory. That's a lot in the bank balance. Those points have surely now wrapped up second place in the championship. And that's such a big win for the team. Surikov ran out of tyres basically, and I'm sure he would have had the option to put on some new mediums or hards, but the AI decided to put on some very worn soft tyres, and that's not worked out well for him at all there. We've stolen it at the death. Munro should have got some points. Strategy was good, his pace was good, but we mucked it up really by bringing him in just too late, and then putting way too much fuel in the car. So, yeah, we've missed out on a double points finish there, I think, but we'll take the win every day of the week. Surikov, of course, pole position, so he gets those points. 2 points for Thornton, unfortunately, because Kuramusha got the fastest lap, so that's skewed it a little bit. They're still scoring pretty heavily, but I'm sure we would have extended our lead in second place because of that. And Ecker takes another victory. How badly do we need that every race of the season next year? Hopefully Surikov will be gone, because Ecker would be winning this championship and would have an awful lot more points at this point if Surikov wasn't in the championship. So Munro's still in the top 6. No points today, but that was our fault really. And we now extend that lead to surely an unattainable goal for Thornton. Spree and Ruiz, I've got to imagine, are out of it now, unless they get a 1-2 somehow in the final race. And with Kirov and Surikov about, that's very unlikely to happen. So 11-point lead going into the final race pretty much seals that second place for us. And hopefully, 1st and 7th will give us, I'm hoping, 2nd overall in terms of the performance for the weekend. So that should get the chairman back on side. Yep. So we're actually the quickest team because we outscored even... we outscored everybody, didn't we? So that gets the chairman a little bit back on side and starts eking the marketability up. And that means we make a nice chunk of money from the weekend as well. That will go nicely towards next year's car. I just want to see actually how that affects Ecker's stats in terms of her race wins, etc. So it's 3 podiums from the year, her first win of the season. And I'd be interested to see really. Let's where am I looking? Standings. So this is our first season. Ecker won in our opening season. And then she got 2 wins in her second year, so that's three wins. And she's got 1 win this year. So 4 wins so far in the Asia Pacific Super Cup. To add 2. I'm very much a stats man, so I enjoy looking at this stuff. 1 win. 0. Did we not compete in 2016? Or did we just not have our current drivers? Oh no, we had Dreyfus, didn't we? So she only actually won once in the European Racing Series, and she's got 4 wins already in the Asia Pacific then. So she's growing into a pretty handy driver. And as I say, I think if Surikov goes next year, we should have a very good chance at the title, both drivers and team. So, cool, that was needed. That eases it a little bit and almost secures our second place for next year and gives us a real platform to build on now. So I hope you guys enjoyed that race as per usual. keep your help and advice coming. Let me know what you think we should be doing next year in terms of drivers and the kart, because of course we have just one event left before the off season now, and we're almost guaranteed to see next season, because I can't imagine we lose second now. It's going to take a pretty extraordinary race from Thornton to overturn that deficit. But you never say never. It's going to be wet as well. So who knows what will happen in the season finale. But thank you everybody for watching as per usual. And join me next time for the final race of the year in Spa. It says Ardennes. I'm just going to call them their proper names. And I'll see you again very soon.